All right, we've roped in legal analyst Elton Hart to weigh in on the Cholota judgment. Elton, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for your time. So, delivering his judgment, Judge Lobsher says South African courts should be precluded from, trying Cholota as the state provided false information to the U.S. authorities in the extradition. One can only imagine the implications this ruling has to the asbestos case itself. Unpack for us what bearing this ruling then has on the main case. Elton, I think you muted.
Yes, can you hear me now, Nati?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead.
I think the bearing that this ruling of today might have on it's maybe some witnesses that will come and testify that interviewed Moradi Cholota in the United States. If they come and testify, maybe their credibility might be on at play here to see that are they credible witnesses and stuff like that. But for the general running of the case, because the charges does not disappear, the charges still remain. All that the court say, how she was brought into the country is unlawful. And the only person that could have asked for the extradition is the minister, obviously with a request from the NPA. And that's basically where it boils down to. This might just now lead to the delay of cases, because now Moradi Cholota is free to actually travel to wherever she wants to travel. And if they want to get her back into South Africa, they'll have to follow the proper diplomatic channels in actually requesting her to come back.
I mean, I want to talk about the NPA, and maybe you can also just weigh in on what you think. It looked like they were quite surprised with the judgment. This latest ruling really has marked another significant court battle loss for the NPA in high-profile matters. They are now studying the judgment, they say, before announcing their next steps. Where do you think they went wrong, and what prospects are there for appeal?
No, obviously, with the appeal, I think it's a little bit tough for them, because in the Sulj judgment, which was the SCA judgment, the NPA was also involved. They know exactly what the court said. What the court was very instructive in that judgment. The court said, this is how you need to deal with extradition proceedings. So I think if they want to appeal on saying that, but they've done everything in their power, they've not misled the court, I don't think they would be successful. So for them to think about appealing the court order to say that the extradition was unlawful, I think it would not be a wise move. I would rather say a move to look at how do we join, if we feel Moradi Cholota is a person that has committed an offense or alleged offense, to join her back into the main proceedings of the 17 that's currently before court, because she was let go this morning. So that's for them to strategize on how they bring her back, if she is a critical role player or a mastermind or whatever they want to paint her as in the asbestos trial, other than going to actually appeal the judgment, because I don't think appeal is a wise move for them at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, in that clip that we've just heard, Ace Magashule saying that he does not want the asbestos roofing removal case to just be withdrawn. Instead, he wants to be acquitted. So tomorrow the case goes back to court. What are we likely to see from his defense, following the outcome of the trial within a trial?
Obviously, obviously they'll go to pre-trial, but I think the NPA might come tomorrow and maybe ask for a postponement of the matter, because if they feel like Cholota's role in whatever has happened in the asbestos case was critical to actually convict the other 17 accused that's currently before court, they might ask for a postponement to say that they want to reconvene and actually see how they're going to proceed with the case, because they are dominus litis. But I know Magashula and his legal team might now push under 342 Big A to say this is an unreasonable delay. They must proceed. And the Criminal Procedure Act makes provision for separation of trials, that Cholota can be tried at a later stage separate from the 17 accused. But the NPA has got a couple of avenues, but I think Magashula and his team will push forward to say let's go and let's get this thing over and done with, because I don't want this corruption, because he's in the clip, he said people know him as corrupt and he wants to clear his name.
Yeah. Also, what he said, he speaks about tapes that, of course, would entail the interview that was done in the US with Cholota, of course, by the NPA or the state. What do you see there in terms of what he just said about saying that you will see what those tapes will reveal? if in fact those tapes are then given to his legal and his defense. I mean, the immediate question that came to mind was, are we going to see another trial within a trial? What do you make of that?
No, I don't think we'll see a trial within a trial, but for me, it's like if the tapes come up and it can actually show that the NPA, when they interview Cholota, they try to actually coerce her into actually giving incriminating evidence against Ace Magashula and actually implicating him. And I think that is what was hinting in saying that is what the tapes will reveal, to show that the NPA never had a case against him. This was politically motivated, and I think he wants to use that to exonerate himself, to show that there was never a case, and they tried to actually sort of have intimidate and force Cholota to say, listen here, if you do not say Magashula was involved in any wrongdoing, we are going to also charge you and extradite you and put you through this whole ordeal that they've put her through now, to actually sort of have put you as one of the accused. And I think most probably the tapes might say something to that effect, if the tapes exist. That is also another story to say, if the tapes exist and if the information and the interviews is audible and the genuine and authenticity of these tapes can be proven as well.
Of course, outside of the court proceedings, we saw, of course, family members giving interviews, and that is Cholota's family members hinting of a possible civil suit. What do you think the prospects are there, given the fact that this judgment says the extradition of Cholota from the US was unlawful? Are there any legal avenues she might pursue, and what would they look like?
Remember, Cholota was in the USA busy studying, or that was what, from the media reports that we got, and from her affidavit, she was studying in the USA. She was there with her kid and everything, and they have to be they were uprooted by this extradition. She was brought back abruptly to South Africa. She had to leave her kid with some family friends, and later on, I think they made arrangements for the kid to come. Or I didn't follow up where the kid is currently, but that already there's some sort of emotional damages that she can claim. Also, the damages that she suffered as the result of her now being unlawfully brought back to the country. She can also claim those damages as to she was busy with studies. Maybe she had to stop her studies and now she's still owing monies, or she has to repay if she wants to continue with her studies. Also, maybe the rent and stuff that she was paying there. All those type of things, and also if she wants to go back, what it will cost to put her back in the position she was prior to this extradition happening. So there is some damages, and obviously also general damages, because now her good name has been tarnished. She's seen as a corrupt individual. So all those type of things can be brought in when you actually calculate the amount of damages you can claim. But the mere fact that the court said it was unlawful, then already it's going to stand like that, unless they're going to challenge and the court comes back, a higher court comes back and say that that extradition was not unlawful. It was according to the prescripts of the treaty between South Africa and the USA, and the right people made the request for her to be brought here.
All right. Thank you so much, Elton, for that. Really do appreciate it. Of course, Elton Hart is a legal expert there, just giving us his comment following Judge Philip Lopsha ruling in favor of Morwadi Cholota, citing her extradition from the US as unlawful.